Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As I was about to title today's video, we're here to rank all 5 takeovers in NBA 2K24. So obviously they have condensed this quite a bit. Used to be 24, even used to be 8 back way in the day, like 2K20 and stuff like that. But obviously since next gen has been introduced, they turned it up to like 24. Now we're just back to an original, even less 5, where it's going to be things grouped together. Like finishing is grouped together with post scoring. Shooting is just between sharp and shot. Playmaking is playmaking. Physicals are a new addition takeover, and then obviously defense and rebounding have been combined, also with even rim take as well. So while there are some new additions, there's also groupings together. And honestly, when you look at it that way, play take and physicals are the ones that are left out when it comes to the grouping, because again, finishing is combining 2 different takeovers between post scoring and slashing. Shooting is combining 2 between shot and sharp, which is very lethal in both, and then even gives you the ankle breaker abilities. And then defense is grouped in with the rim, block, and rebounding as well, and these 2 are kind of left on their own. So we'll see if that makes an influence in this video or not. Obviously that's what we're here to get to, so if you guys enjoy, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to them noties, all good stuff, and like always, try to win 2,000 likes. So let's go ahead and get started. Coming in at 5th place, also shout out to the color coding. If you guys know what game this is from, let me know. I want to see that in the comments too, if you know what the color coding on the placement is. It's on some real like 2000s video game on like the GameCube. But anyway, moving along, we have physicals coming in at the 5th place. I'm not a big fan of this takeover. I was early in the year if it's mainly just built in like playing as a pick and roller and back end combo where you want to take advantage of like your speed, your vertical, the strength, all that stuff. But realistically speaking, I think it's better to just save for the Mamba takeover than it is to end up trying to ever pop physicals. Obviously, saving for Mamba could be something that we maybe talk about in terms of like, is that worth versus doing it for just a single take? But we're here to just talk about the power of the takeovers for the most part. Like, we'll talk about the perks that you get with other takeovers moving forward in this video, but the most obvious one that we can use as an example is, for instance, the see the future aspect of the defense and rebounding. You can see where the ball is going to go, and that's obviously a perk style thing that I'm talking about. Whereas physicals, it doesn't have anything like that, so it's just left out purely, and it feels like it's truly just a ratings boost. That's it, and I can't really vouch for that too much, so it definitely comes in at the 5th place. Now, as far as where we go next, I want you guys to kind of guess what some of these are going to be too, because it's a lot more of a fast-paced video, so obviously we're trying to make some fun with this too. So let me just tell you, these next 2 spots were between finishing and then the defense and rebounding, and I decided that finishing is going to come in at 4th and defense and rebounding is going to come in at 3rd. So with these 2 takeovers, finishing is going to be something that I'm going to vouch for in terms of the ability that it gives you with these floaters of making it gigantic. Like you can see, it's actually unmissable. Same goes for the dunk meters as well. And as you can see, that's really hard to miss. Not to mention, it does have this ability too. I'm obviously showing you one that has Mamba active, and it shows like everything is like active. And this was before the patch where it actually shows the Mamba logo, and it would just pop your primary quote unquote as like the visual. And in all fairness, you actually can get this with the defensive takeover active as well. It doesn't even just have to be the finishing one. You can get it with both. So you're gonna be able to push him with flicking up on your stick as if you were doing a dunk meter, and you can see it gets that nudge out the way, and then you hold down as if you're gonna finish the dunk meter, but it actually just gives you a free dunk without even having to time the dunk meter at all, because you're getting that push into an instant dunk. Now again, that's not something that's specific to finishing, but I just wanted to give a couple examples of what it will do for you. Also, if you guys didn't know, I'm pairing up with the NBA 2K Lab this year, so you can use code Laker for 20% off at checkout at their website. That's NBA2KLab.com. On this website is all types of really good statistical jump shot information. You can also test the jumpers on their website too. Plug the controller straight into your phone or to your PC. You can get early, green, late. It'll tell you where you need to adjust on that jump shot, or if you don't know what jumper you want to run, you just go to their jump shot recommender, you punch in your height, the jump shot rating that you're working with, and then based on the milliseconds of timing that you get, it'll recommend you a jump shot. So again, if you want to use code Laker for 20% off at checkout, that's NBA2KLab.com. Appreciate you guys, and we'll get back to the video. So yeah, we got finishing coming in at the 4th place. It's a pretty mid one if we're being completely honest, but for some specific people like myself, for instance, I can definitely say for myself it'd be ranked pretty high. Like obviously I'm never using shooting on my inside builds or anything like that, so like my tier list would be different than everybody's general tier list, but I'm just talking about the power of each takeover and what they're actually going to do for you. So moving along to the 3rd place, we have defense and rebounding. I'm not going to show any clips of this one, but you guys know what I'm talking about when it shows the see the future thing. It actually could give you some value too, as far as if you maybe popped Mamba take and you wanted to save for that as a guard. It can show you where the rebounds are going to go, and if your communication is quick enough, you could tell your teammates where it's going to end up at. With mic delay, it can be a pretty tough thing if you're on Xbox and PlayStation though. Discord, pretty fire if you guys ever want to try utilizing that and see if you can tell your teammates where it's going to go and actually hear like a quick response. But Besides that, obviously, it adds more of the defensive value of like the better contest. But considering we're mainly talking about the abilities that this gives you, rather than to talk about, let's say, obviously it gives you perimeter defense boost and interior defense boost and, you know, blocks and stuff like that too. Obviously, that's something you can add to this, and we still are factoring that in. But the perks and the abilities that these give you are the main things I want to talk about, and it's why my tier list is going to be based how it is. And I mean, it's pretty obvious what the rest of it's going to be, right? So let's just go ahead and bring them down. Playmaking and shooting. So with the playmaking abilities, this is what I want to talk about. Now again, a lot of this stuff is with Mamba active, but it's what I want to show you, the ability of the takeover part, like the playmaking part of this takeover. So look at this, Tonic on a 7-2 running the pick and pop with me, and I cross over from the middle to the hash right here. Now peep two things. A, how big this meter is going to be off a catch and shoot. You can see it ends up being like pretty hittable. If you guys haven't used the meter, you don't really know how this is going to work. It's a lot bigger than a regular catch and shoot from this distance, and again, like you can see it does get like bigger toward the end of the actual shot animation. You can see it's increasing the size, and not to mention obviously with the takeover as well, I'm going from 88% on my take all the way up to 50% on the Mamba, and that's off the play take aspect of his, and that works for everybody too. Like for instance, if Dre was the one right here on the hash passing to me, he would get the crazy takeover boost because of being the passer, and I would get crazy takeover boost off being the shooter, regardless of if Tonic is the one to pass to me or not. Now, it's like a double whammy effect that you can take advantage of if you're gonna have him as the passer hit me, and I'm still gonna be on the shot off it, because again, it does increase that shot percentage and will open that green window quite a bit as well. And then again, it also will give me a ton of takeover. But again, like I said, if you're a corner spot up who's maybe sitting corner and you wanted to pop the play take so that your point guard and center can both utilize it for their takeover, then one of them gets Mamba because they were able to completely eat off that takeover amount. It really is a huge takeover. You could debatably debate potentially that this should be the #1 takeover in the game. I will say they obviously took out the things like badge boost and ratings boost and stuff like that. I don't think it has that type of effect anymore, where like if someone just has play take active, that I would just shoot better off someone else's passes as well, or my own shots, just because I have a ratings boost per se. I don't think that's a thing anymore. However, again, there are multiple perks to this between the takeover amount that you're getting and the extra increased shot percentage, like, or just dimer, if you will, that you're gonna get off the passes. So play take #2. All right, and then lastly, we have the shooting takeover. Now, this is a pretty obvious one to put #1. Again, you could debate that shooting and playmaking are a little bit more interchangeable, and then defense and finishing are a little bit interchangeable. I think physicals belongs at the 5th place no matter what. These two could be, you know, debated between 3rd and 4th, but I think it's on tiers where it's like the 3 and 4 are kind of the mid tier, the physicals are the bad one, and then the shooting and playmaking are the top tier, if you ask me. Now, with shooting, we obviously have an issue where I don't think you should have ankle breakers in the shooting takeover, if you ask me. I understand shot take was the one that gives the ankle breaking shots in last year's game, and even still, I thought that was kind of stupid. I think when it's dribble moves, it should be playmaking takeover. When it's like an actual hop jumper that you're gonna do or something like that, I think that is okay to justify for putting it in the shooting takeover. Like for instance, Space Creator is a shooting badge. Ankle breaker is a playmaking badge. I think that's pretty straightforward, and I don't see why it should change anywhere, but here we are where, you know, shooting takeover gives you ankle breakers. So not only can you just sit here and spam your behind the backs into, like, you know, step back with a little standstill snatch back, if you will, where it's just gonna be like down diagonal on your stick, down on your stick, down diagonal on your stick, down on your stick, and eventually you're gonna get an ankle breaker. You can do it while standing still, and it's pretty crazy because those animations are very souped up too. If you guys have played ones and you've played anybody with sharp take, you can see how frustrating it is to deal with stuff like this. And speaking of which, I actually have a visual for you guys to be able to see what this does to your shot meter, even just on wide opens or just standstill jumpers, so to say. So you can see this guy, he's down like 9-4. He ends up quitting right here, as you're gonna see it pops up in the bottom left. So his AI comes out to contest me, but as you can see, here's what the shot meter window is gonna be looking like. And I'll just let you guys see these all played out, but as you can see, that one was even a little bit of a bounce back. Didn't even time that perfectly. Then we're just going to continue to keep on catch and shooting off the rip. Now, the AIs do a pretty good job of running out to you and contesting this. But as you can see, the meter sizes are not looking too rough, and I'm not perfect timing everything or anything like that. It's just sharp take makes it extremely easy to shoot. So here we are with 2 threes in a row, a third 3 in a row. I mean, like we're testing these limits. And as you can see, that's 22% contested, by the way. And peep how big the meter still remains on this. 22% contest. Yet here we are, it's still even looking like that big in the moment. To be fair, it could, you know, have decreased by the time that I let the ball go, but even still, I just wanted to show the best example I possibly can because I am someone that uses the jump shot meter. And that's all for our clips, and that's pretty much all for our tier list as well. So if you guys have any input on this, you want to like debate anything in the comments as far as what you feel, as far as like any of them need to be interchanged or what you think in your personal opinion. Like if it was my own personal tier list, what I'm going to say is I would say playmaking is the best for me in my personal style. I like being able to run the 5 out. It makes it more justified off the fact that I get the ball handle boost, and because I'm going to get better passes and just be able to give people their takeover, I can demand the attention from the defense, and then I can kick over like on 5 outs with my inside center. I know it sounds dumb, right? But like a 4-out 1-in ISO where I'm the ball handler with my center, and then I can dot the hashes, I can do whatever. They're going to get big takeover, and they cannot be allowed to just help like that like crazy, because they will get punished for it if my team gets crazy amounts of takeover, and they're just going to hit at a better rate off my passes. So for like my personal one, I'd say playmaking, then finishing, then defense, physicals, and then obviously for shooting, like it doesn't apply to me at all. So that's why some of this can be subjective and obviously, you know, up to your own discretion. But I think in the general sense of speaking, I just wanted to talk about how good they are, period, like as their abilities and what they do for your ratings boost. So anyway, that's all for video. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub, if you're new, turn on noties, all good stuff. Like always, try to 2,000 likes. And if you made it to the end of the video, put take in the comments or parts I through. And again, if you guys have any idea what game this color coding is from in terms of the placements, I'll give you another hint. It was like a racing game. That's about all we'll give for that. But anyway, that's all for video. Hope you all enjoyed. None of that. Take these, man. Peace.